through between each round, ladies and gentlemen, so don't worry, you will get your fix in between. But now coming into this, Hex, we did already see a little bit of what Kingdom had to show us there on the control point map, and that's probably got a reason for feeling relatively good about coming into this one. They really do lean heavily on the Reinhardt here as well. So if we see Juvenile come out on that one, I always feel like he's such a good barometer for whether the team wants to attack or wants to just back up a little bit, if he's alive or dead.
Well, CounterJ also had just a really sick set of games as his Roadhog. The one time Kingdom struggled greatly is when they ended up putting Jesus on the Roadhog and they were running a substitute, and Wolf was running their other DPS, and that is not what they want to run at all. Counter is definitely their Roadhog specialist. You saw it early on, just how many hooks he was hitting. He was getting 3 and 4Ks pretty constantly, so I expect that to be a really good battle between CounterJ and Mendo there too. And Juvenile is a good Rhine, but you know, so is Rib. So we'll see how the Rhine games end up playing out for the two of them. Interesting conversation too. Jesus just trolling us last second is going to be on the McCree instead of the Bastion. Unfortunately, Shore4 is going to bust out this May.
All right, May going to be a piece here as well. We are going to see at least the triple tank coming out here from the side of Cloud9. They will start with the higher ground, and they will work their way down into the middle of the room. It will be Rib out in front. And now that pillar being used heavily here, but look at that, hook comes in, Jesus goes for the flash, a little bit risky, but he actually gets away with his life. He's not punished, and Rib's been left by his team. A lucky wall will get him out to safety, but this is a very weird start to this game. Juvenile falls first.
Yeah, the wall right there is really nice to help them out. It's the May is definitely paying off just as far as area control goes, but they are battling back and forth. Jesus trying to bring it down, and now that it's kind of deteriorating, Jesus should be able to clean up a little bit. They're kind of swapping out back and forth. Their nade goes down, kind of rotating in. This is very scrappy. They're not going to give up this fight, but they have to stay on it. That's why the Lucio's at the center point.
Yeah, Mendo gets picked up there as well, but it's going to be a nano-boosted Rib going in, immediately flashed out. And Rib struggling to really get to the squishy targets in the backline. He's surrounded by 2 tanks, and Jesus is just free to get damage in against him. In the meantime, at least the rest of Cloud9 have managed to get through, and Rib is now almost still alive. He got taken down there by the whole Jesus. Deadeye coming through here, looking for a target. Might get one if he's lucky, but no. Nice little peek from Rolf there, baits out the use of the Deadeye, and now Kai shooting themselves up, backing away. Kingdom definitely with a stronger start to this fight. Shore4 May has gotten a kill or 2 here, but not been the big game changer they're probably hoping it to be.
Yeah, it was just a really patient beginning there. That fight took forever to go through. Mendo's going to come and try to get hooked. Shore4 going down early really hurts him. Earthshatter is going to come down, knock a few down. Instead, his Rib was a little bit behind there. That counter Earthshatter comes in though. Where's the cleanup though?
Well, it's coming in now, at least, I hope. Rib's going to go forward again. It's a second nano boost for him. And now the Graviton Surge is all too easy. The hook comes in to get Rib out of the action, but there's plenty of follow-up available for Cloud9 on that Graviton team. Sherlocky up on the top ledge here as well, but he's not going to be able to sleuth himself out of this situation. It's going to be him getting Adam before he goes, but he will eventually crumble the Kai.
For all the talk about Zarya not being super popular, I don't quite understand it. I'm a little bit flabbergasted by it because Graviton is a fight-winning, game-winning, map-winning ultimate. You saw right there, even if you get an Earthshatter, the Graviton is so good to be able to clean up people, and if you're doing the damage like Kai is, he's already at 40% again. Another Earthshatter comes up from Rib.
Yeah, Man of Snow's going to be looking for the Graviton here as well. I don't know if he's going to let it go now or maybe wait on it. It seems as he needs the teammates to follow up, but he's going to be frozen solid there as well. His indecision proves to be his undoing. And Mendo does pick off Sherlocky there as well. Trying to play a bit of an off angle was that Anna, getting a little bit too close, hooked straight on into the mix. And now Cloud9 will be able to establish, again, fairly forward positioning here for a short time, and they'll be even on percent.
This forward position can be really brutal to try to break through again when you have a Zarya on the other team. Kai at 83%. They do get Graviton by themselves, but that wall is going to keep everyone out for the most part.
Yep, Whole Hog came out there as well. Good work from Jesus to flash Mendo and stop the Whole Hog completely, because that could have been perfect for Cloud9. Still pretty good start to the fight though. It's going to be Man of Snow the one getting a nano boosted here. And a Graviton's used by Cloud9, lacking follow-up though. That's the problem. Sherlocky falls. Shore4 is eventually picked up on the outside by Jesus now. And it will be Kingdom setting back up on this point. No one really to see it. Rib, for some reason, thinks to peek around the corner onto the point and then sheepishly backs away.
They will probably be fighting just about even when the next fight occurs. It's about 50 to 65 right now. Juvenile's got Earthshatter up. So far, the follow-up hasn't necessarily been there for the Earthshatters. That's about the only ultimate to speak of. But Blizzard is going to be up ready for Shore4. He's going to be throwing us the weather report momentarily. No D.Va to stop that.
Well, it's an Earthshatter. That seems to be enough, and Juvenile goes in for the charge. It's almost like he knew that Shore4 was ready to let rip with that ultimate, and then Kingdom just snowballing off the back of that fight. Finding target after target here, and fortunately for Cloud9, both of their supports, well, at least Adam and Kai had backed out of the main area. and able to keep themselves safe. But this is not a good side for C9. They've got the ultimates, they've got that Blizzard still. They need to make such good use of it here in this next fight. Using this wall to get in, to get past the poke. Hook connects on towards Connor there as well. And here's that Blizzard, well placed. Let's see what the follow-up's going to be like.
Yeah, they're going to clean up both of the tanks here very likely as Juvenile gets caught out along with Connor J. That means a 6v4 coming onto the point right now. They have to win this fight. They're at 90%, but I cannot see a situation in which they lose this fight. It'd be better off for Kingdom to just try to stall as much as possible.
Oh, Jesus, they're getting frozen up. It's going to be Shawful finds it with an ice spike. Now over the point, it's just Sherlock here, the only man in the middle. Now on overtime, it's going to be flipped back towards Cloud9, and they have a good amount of ultimates to actually hold back with. If that whole hog from Mendo doesn't get interrupted by a hook or a flash from Jesus, its impact cannot be understated.
Well, Rib also has his Earthshedder at the ready too, so if they come around the point again, it's going to be one of those moments of Rhine games, and so far, neither Rhine has done a great job of protecting his team from Earthshatter, so they are going to wall off too. Jesus comes out here, gets absolutely isolated. The team's going to come in, Graviton in as well.
Well, we see Rib now trying to make the best of the Graviton surge. He tries to go in for more, but it's actually going to be a Bardic Grenade that keeps Kingdom alive, and now Mendo's going to come with his own ult there. Manages to mow down Juvenile, gets rid of him. It's 95% to 99, and a sneaky back tap is underway from Jesus here, hoping to keep this one going. But we're going to be already in overtime, and it may not pay off. He's going to be desuited and taken down pretty quickly. A zoning Blizzard was used just in case, and Cloud9 will have the first round.
Yeah, very early on when Mei was not in the meta at all, we always theorized that she might find a place on these control maps, and even that wasn't necessarily the case for a while. She got in a little bit, maybe out, and then there were better compositions than Mei, but you see exactly why. It's not even the Blizzard, and Blizzard's great. It's not as great as it was, thankfully, but the wall is so important on getting these shutting out people from coming in, shutting off last point attempts to even stall out the point. That wall is a perfect fit in those hallways, especially for that point, and I would be surprised to see Shore4 run at the remainder of this map.
Well, second round just around the corner, and again, Mei walls perhaps won't have quite the same impact here as they did prior. It's a little bit more open ground, but still, they can definitely be used well across these bridges and blocking up some of those points.
Yeah, well, you think with this map in particular is brutal to come in, because you either have Bridge, which no one loves to do because it's so scary, because gravity kills you, or you have Pack Room, which, yeah, that wall fits perfectly into Pack Room. So, we'll see. I think that it's a really nice run for me, even on this map. Rolf gets the first kill on Mana Snow, Short takes out Jesus. This fight almost already over.
Huge opening there as well. Rolf now over towards their Zenyatta. It's always good to see. Some players love it. Some players still prefer to play the Ana and the Lucio comp, but it will be a hook on towards Rib. He won't be punished for that one, though. He's actually able to get the shield up and be knocked back away. And now Shawful on the outside. He's looking for Sherlocky here, trying to get the freeze up, and he'll have it there as well. Rolf going big. Another 2 more kills for him. He finds Connor J as well. That Discord orb worth its weight in gold, although it probably is.
Yes, it probably is the gold variants of that, knowing Rolf. They do get another cleanup kill. I can't speak enough about how good Mei is. The retreat gets blocked off by a wall. You've got Short4, who's got just amazing aim on those icicles and projectiles, so that he's already going to have Blizzard just about up. He's looking for a wall, and it just segments them off. If they don't come in fully rolling hard as 6, then they're going to end up coming in as 2 or 3. There's the wall. There's 3 in. Well, that is Transcendence coming up to try to save them, and does save them for a little bit. Jesus and Mana Snow keep themselves alive momentarily, grabbing a couple kills, so this is the best fight so far for Kingdom, as Connor J takes out his opposing number in Mendo, and despite getting cut in half across the bridge, the Transcendence absolutely crucial. Transcendence so zen-like that it knocked Uber out of the game.
It was pretty great. It did knock Uber out of the game, although personally I like to think that his neighbors finally had enough and actually forcibly closed down his internet. So I'm going to be tagging in here while we wait for Uber to get back in. And it is Kingdom able to retake the point after that last exchange, but take a look here. C9 definitely with a lot of tools in their arsenal, but so is Kingdom here. This is going to be an ult showdown coming in between both teams here, Hex, and whichever team wins this, very likely to take the round.
I still believe in the power of Mei right now. It's just Short4's done so much on it. That wall right there is going to come in. Now they're going to Graviton combo it on the side. Blizzard's going to come in too. Should be an enormous cleanup. You got to run the side. Jesus, though, got a couple.
No one expects the flanking Mei. Was there for the fall through off the graviton, but Jesus is still hanging on. Has almost no HP. Finally goes down at the very end as C9 gonna be working this right back in no small part due to Kaikai's contributions. So not only did he land a great graviton, but he stayed alive long enough to build up his energy and get the fall through at the very end. But still a very close game between both teams. 51% to 43%. C9 investing a little bit more ult-wise in that fight. You take a look at what Kingdom's gonna have for this next fight. They will have the sound barrier. They will have the nano boost. So support ultimates very well could turn the tide as they decide the roll forward here right across this bridge.
Well, the next fight should be one that they win for sure, especially after that misplaced wall. They're not going to have to worry about getting cut off as they come in here. Juvenile's looking for that Earthshatter. Ribs playing a little more defensively than we're used to seeing him, probably because the Earthshatters were so effective at the control center stage.
2 quick kills coming out here from C9. The wall has done enough to space out Kingdom. That's going to be enough. 4 kills coming in. Mendo with the cleanup. And for C9 now, they are 1 fight away from taking this round and being up 2-0 over Kingdom. Kingdom still didn't open up there with the sound bear. They're being very conservative with their ultimates, but they're gonna have to burn them here on this next fight. Mendo, meanwhile, just looking for that early kill. But if he got it here, Hex, it would probably end the game outright. But here we go.
Well, they already knocked.
Oh no! He somehow doesn't get hooked with Connor.
Almost saved. Like, here comes all the ultimates in. They do get a cheeky back up there, which is pretty nice for them. So they're going to be getting percentage points while this fight takes on. And Man of Snow putting team on his back. Gets 3 kills there. Only short 4 left, trying to get out on the retreat. Not long for this world as Man of Snow adds to his death count. That is a huge fight for Kingdom. They have to win the next 2, but still in decent position. They might have Graviton up here shortly.
Well, tales of Zarya's demise clearly have been exaggerated because both Man of Snow and Kaikai have had some enormous plays here, and I still can't get over what happened before where
he had a
poor
bomb,
J, man.
and they almost saved him. It was not a good combination.
Well, Man of Snow right now holding on to the Graviton. It's Kingdom now 1 fight away from taking this. It's all going to come down to this final fight. And Man of Snow and the Graviton very well could be the difference maker. They're going to have to go against Blizzard. And we'll take a look where Surefour is at right now. Surefour, he's coming on the side once more. Flanking Mei going to be a thing, but what's going on? His team is caught in the Graviton. Both teams looking for a fall through, but it's going to be C9 with that Blizzard. Surefour setting them up. 4 kills here from C9. And just like that, C9 going to be retaking this point. There will be no overtime. Gonna be 2-0 in favor of C9, but it's been very close between these 2 teams here, Hex. The 2-0 doesn't really tell the tale.
Not exactly, and they may have nerfed Mei's Blizzard, but they did not nerf Surefour in particular. I think he got 3 up that round, and that is much more difficult than it used to be. It used to be a pleb like me could get Blizzard up as fast as that, but now you have to actually hit shots. Surefour clutching out icicles, doing so much damage in there. Just playing really well. I cannot speak enough about how impactful this Mei has been on these control maps. So good against tanks, so good against the Diva picks, and a lot of the picks that you can have. I mean, she's got a lot of the tools to save herself as well, so Surefour's Mei has been a thing of beauty, and he's going to continue to run it even on this stage.
All right, so just as an update on the Uber situation, people are wondering where our awesome caster from Down Under has gone. Apparently his PC is crashing now on startup. He is doing maintenance on his computer. I'm sorry, guys. He got on Sombra's bad side. Hopefully he'll be back sooner rather than later, but it is full on just not working here for Uber. So gonna take a look here at the next setup here, and Rib with an immediate charge on the Juvenile set up by the ice wall. 2 quick kills for Rib, and this fight over before it really begins here, Hex.
Well, he trades 2-1 because he is taken out by Connor J, but that is enough of an advantage that they should be able to snowball this into their favor. Jesus comes in, he's gonna get desuited. There's only a couple left alive. It's all over but the crying. Yeah, you're right, that fight was over just before it started. A lot thanks to Rib, who, when he turns on the aggression, he can really swing a fight for his team.
Absolutely, and Ribby's one of the most explosive Reinhardts in the game, where you don't expect him to do something big every fight, but every now and then he'll just be in the right position. They get 1-2 kills early on, and then that takes a lot of the weight off the shoulders of your Surefours, of your Mendos, so it really does pay off.
Well, that's
why
why
Surefour going in pretty deep here.
That's why I like Rib so often, is he's got different speeds. A lot of Reinhardts are only 1 speed, either they're passive or they're aggressive. He is kind of a curveball. They never know what is going to actually come out from him. They do end up losing and trading out a lot here, but look how important this wall is yet again. That when they want to disengage, that wall comes up, there's an opening peak, and Kaikai takes out Connor as soon as the wall crumbles.
Things going very well for C9 to start things off here. Shift looking for that wall to split things off. Doesn't quite get. Gonna roll right back on the point here. Holding on to Blizzard, and there it is. Gonna drop the Blizzard. Zone things out. Jesus already taken out of the fight. The rest getting frozen. And C9 well on their way to taking this fight, being about 2 more away from winning the round. And they're doing it with a lot of control, and a lot of that is due to how Shift is playing this Mei right now, where even if he doesn't get the wall off, he's building Blizzard very quickly, and the Blizzard alone helps seal that fight.
Yeah, Jesus on the Reaper. What do you think in particular this is a response to? Is it that Rib's doing so well? Is it maybe to deal with short for a little bit? You barely see Reaper, so I need your help, buddy. Why are we seeing him?
It's for short for. It is for the Mei.
It's gotta be, yeah.
That wall not quite what Shift was looking to play. Ends up going in the middle of the wall. I mean, a little bit of a glitch there, if nothing else, but still works out. Sureforce, some well-placed right clicks. Finds Sherlocky. Get a wall in the middle of this Graviton. 2 quick kills from C9. And immediately set up by Kai's Graviton. They're going to win this fight. And now the question is whether or not we're even going to see a final fight. At 90%, it's going to take a miracle here for Kingdom to pull this back.
I think the answer is no, because there comes another wall yet again. They're going to maybe come out here. The Earthshifter came down a little early from Rib, but it's not going to matter. No one's going to be able to get to that point. That was a shellacking on the 3rd stage of Lijiang.
It was a masterclass in Mei control. There's really no other way of putting it, where some teams have sort of shied away from Mei since their nerf, but Sureforce more than willing to stay on it.
I mean, Mei is still really good against triple tank and even quad tank right now. It's been difficult for Mei to get a lot done just because she doesn't do enough damage, but if you can really build your team around Mei and making sure she doesn't die, she can do a lot, and I think we saw it there. And Cloud9 not only was able to make Mei work, but they can run Zen and not have to run Ana in the triple tank. We know how good Rolf is on Zen, that it worked out quite well for them. If I'm Kingdom, I'd be a little bit worried. One, I think that we're going to probably see Nepal or Ilios. I forget which one is the other King of the Hill. But more than likely, we're going to see the other King of the Hill. I have to wonder if I'm Kingdom, does Jesus go Reaper right out of the bat? Because I think Jesus going Reaper was a direct response to the Mei, not necessarily everything else going on. Reaper has always been pretty good against Mei, and if I was Kingdom, I'd probably start out the round for the next map.
Alrighty, so 1 second here. We're going to be recalling everyone involved. Fortunately, overlays don't work without everyone here, so we're going to be calling Golden Boy onto the call. He'll be showing up a little bit later in the day, but now it's just like wanting to have things here where I can show you guys our beautiful faces once more. I mean, I didn't get the Santa hat for nothing, is all I gotta say there. Hex wasn't even wearing a Santa hat earlier. He was wearing just a black beanie. I felt like if it was Home Alone, he was part of the Wet Bandits. It was one of those sorts of situations. So just a second here as we call the suspects here once more. And I just realized because I was recalling, Hex didn't even hear my jibe about him being part of the Wet Bandits earlier. So a little bit sad.
I'm glad that you brought it up twice so that I did hear you insulting me now. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Nice.
No problem, no problem. And Gold Boys is going to be there in the background. You can't hear him, but let it be known that he is lurking. I kind of want to put the camera on him, though, just because he's like head bobbing and stuff right now. He's really having a good time.
When is Golden Boy not having a good time? I don't think I've ever seen him not smiling.
That's a good question. I've never seen Golden Boy angry, although I think very few people have seen me angry. So what if we just have this event at one point where both me and Golden Boy just get real rage? That'd be earth-shattering or something.
No
You
pun
should see
intended.
Golden Boy play Call of Duty. That's when he gets mad.
That is true. That is when he gets mad. All right, so we are waiting here for both teams to be ready here once more. Kai saying, "Hey Hex, thanks for the follow on Instagram." Is that a thing? Is that actually a factual statement?
No, I have no idea what Instagram is. I mean, I know what it is, but do I strike you as the Instagram type?
No, but I mean, if you had an Instagram, would you follow Kai?
I'm going to make an Instagram and only follow Kai, actually. I mean, that's kind of creepy, but that's just how I want to roll.
You would when do that.
So Kai also putting... Kai's putting me a blast for my Twitter game here, where I thought I had Kai followed ages ago and just followed him today. I'm apparently a monster.
Yeah, that is pretty awful of you. Pretty rough game.
All right, so I'm going to have to fix my Twitter game here, but we are heading in to map number 2 here. It's Nepal. It's another control point map. Cloud9 going to try and pull this... Kingdom going to try and pull this back. Cloud9 looking for the quick 2-0 to fight the one and only really cool guys who also consist of former Cloud9 alumnus. But X, what are we taking a look at here?
Well, it looks like everyone's running a little standard, but Jesus has seen the carry that Shore4 put on, wants to put his team on his back. So we're going to see dueling Maze on this point. A couple Zenyatas as he's firmly back in the meta. Other than that, it looks like I'm trying to shift eyes back and forth as quickly as possible. I think we have a full mirror match.
I am a little bit skeptical. I would rather Kingdom run their standard combo Jesus on Reaper than put him on Mei here and try to go Zen. But at least Sherlocky has gone back down. I like it a little bit better now.
Okay, so that is the switch we see. Rolf is going to be on the Zenyatta. They come out on different sides, though. The wall already coming down, allowing them to be very aggressive, but a nice counter wall coming in from Jesus there. Locks them out. That's 3 kills for Kingdom.
3 quick kills from Kingdom as Connor with the final hook. Zenyatta finding a new way of flying over, but not going to work out there for C9 as Kingdom striking right back with quite a bit of force.
It's just a really smart counter strat right off the bat, because what they've been doing is putting a wall behind the team, cutting them off, and then getting Rib to charge in, getting a couple kills. It's exactly what they tried there. They Rib charged in, and then they put the wall behind him, and then closed it off. So it's any wall you can make, I can make better. They got a much better use of it. Jesus there on the low ground, just really cool counterplay immediately after seeing exactly what Mei can do. So they're going to lock Short4 out of this as well as the fight continues on the high ground.
Connor J right now just hanging on right now, looking for those early hooks. And this is what you see for teams. There's a poke back and forth looking for the early hook, but it's going to be Mendo that finds it first. And now Kingdom, without that Rhine shield, suddenly very vulnerable as Mendo gets work, has 2 kills, looking for more, gets Connor J right in the backside. And C9, nothing too flashy, but once Mendo gets that first pick off, it sets the stage for everything else, and they're going to retake the point.
Yeah, not too difficult to win a fight when you make it 6v4 immediately, and that's exactly what they did. Even with the Mei wall up, it was buying them a little bit of time as they just rotated around the back, and then they were stuck in there. They made their own killing room, if you will. So they went completely down. Now Sherlocky is going to have the nano boost, and Connor will have Whole Hog up. We've seen how good that combination can be, but Wolf will have Transcend, Riv has Earthshatter, so a couple important ultimates coming up in this next fight.
Absolutely, and for Mendo right now, he's going to have Whole Hog up early on. Looks for the hook over the top, finds Connor J, brings him to the top rope and sends him right down. So already a 65 here from C9, and early picks like that are really defying this meta where your tanks, if they're able to outplay the other tank, it goes from there, because trying to win down a player when both teams are running beefy lineups, it's very difficult.
You need all the damage you can get, and losing one player really, really quickly hurts, especially a hero like Roadhog, who's able to do it for your team as well. So picking the counter pick kind of thing is really, really good for your team. Most ults still available for both sides here. This is going to be an enormous ultimate battle, more than we generally see lately. 4 and 5 ultimates up on either side, really just wondering who can get the value. Here comes the grab.
Kai sets the stage with the Graviton. Soundbar again mitigate the worst of it here for Kingdom as they try and keep this going, but Connor J, he misses the hook, and that's big. He's not going to get the early pick off he's looking for. Meanwhile, Adam and Rib find exactly what they're looking for on the other side of the fight. 3 kills here from C9, and despite the sound barrier, it ends up being wasted, and Kai's Graviton is the fight winner. Where maybe if Connor J had hit the hook, it could have gone the other way, but he didn't. As well, C9 now 1 fight away from taking this first round.
After that first fight, it has been all C9. They've just controlled fights much better, gotten better value out of their ultimates, and they're playing around the Mei wall much better than Kingdom is. Kingdom seems to still be getting trapped in it. They're not necessarily getting the value they want out of it. We'll see if they can combine the Graviton and Blizzard to great effect, as Cloud9's been doing this entire set.
Soundbear coming in now from C9 as they look to put this one away. They're going to get hit by the ground, but the fall through isn't necessarily there as Rib goes off in the backline once more, finds 2 immediately. The Blizzard comes in from the offense from Jesus, but it's too little too late. There's not enough fall through. And just like that, C9 going to be taking this round. And Kingdom, they started out strong, but they weren't able to finish strong. C9 up 1-0.
Now, Mei is very good on that map, so maybe not necessarily as bad as I thought it was going to be coming out, considering Kingdom won the first team fight, but I do not think they should continue doing this on 2 and 3.
It doesn't look like something they're super comfortable with, because in my opinion, when you hit when you have Graviton and Blizzard up and you lose that fight, then something went really, really wrong. Either you didn't shut them down enough, you didn't keep them from doing damage from inside the grab while the Blizzard was taking effect, or you didn't combo them in the right timings, because they had 3 in the grab. They're unable to follow up the Blizzard until the very end. A couple of people ran into it and died to the damage coming out of the grab, so it didn't seem like it's something that they're super comfortable running. And there you go, Jesus is back onto the Tracer.
Not too surprising to see the Tracer come out here. Even as far as Nepal goes, this is the one map where teams are really, really comfortable running Tracer. A lot of ways for her to go in and around. A lot of natural cover for her, too, with this four-sided structure in the middle. But for Jesus, he's going to have to find ways of getting early pickoffs, and if, barring that, at least find good ways of making pulse bombs work. And for now, he's going on Rolf, but this is not easy. Rolf is one of the best killing supports in the game, if not the best, and he's going to keep Jesus back, and it's not going to be an early pickoff.
Well, Jesus is able to take down Rib, which is a big deal. There goes the shield down, and that opens up everything for Connor and Sherlock. They grab a couple kills. It is 6v3 right now. That is Kingdom winning this fight decisively. Mendo's on the retreat. He will likely get chased down. Jesus has to be a little careful. Don't want to chase too far and get hooked, but he's got the support of his team. That is a full 6-0 in favor of Kingdom.
And what we're going to be seeing here from Jesus is that he's going to have Pulse Bomb up and at the ready, and what that means is we've been seeing Tracers use this much more often. They get on the back line and not even go for tanks, but actually just try and blow up a DPS character outright. That's been the more effective use of Tracer when we've seen people like Soon use it in recent times. So for Jesus here, it's going to depend. Is he going to go up, blow up tanks old school style, or is he going to go for the back line? It does look like he's going for the back line. See if he lands this real quick. Looking for Surefour right now. He's waiting for the healing station before he drops a Pulse Bomb. See if he does that here. He had a golden opportunity. Doesn't go for it right away.
Very odd. He was dancing around way too long in the back line. You want to get in there and drop that and just start building another one as soon as possible if you're not going to combo it. Because right now, Man of Snow is at 90%. You could have waited and used a Big Bang combination rather than just chucking it away. So they do end up trading a little bit out on the point, but Cloud9 gets the better end of these trades. Will end up cleaning up the points. Shortboard has gotten off of that Mei. I think that's the right choice for this stage in particular. He's on the Soldier 76 now instead. So I really don't like how Jesus played that. He had two supports dead to rights. Maybe you just try the Pulse Bomb there, then get out, but it was very odd.
Well, more importantly, he had Surefour dead the right, so all he had to do is throw the Pulse Bomb on the healing station, and then he either kills Surefour while he's off the station, or the bomb kills him outright. He doesn't go for it, he sort of freezes up, and Surefour ends up killing two people later in the fight. Big mistakes coming out, and here's Kaikai. Graviton in, pulls in 3. Sound Baron might be down, but it's not enough to protect them. Kaikai does get that first pick off. The Earth Share from Rib gonna be the finisher here, as C9 well on their way to taking this team fight.
Well, see, now they have to wait, because Man of Snow did have his Graviton up. They would have liked to counter-grav there, but what was going to be the follow-up? Jesus now has his Pulse Bomb at the ready after enough kills, but I think that one early fight and that early Pulse Bomb really cost him. Even if he just thrown it out in the 10 seconds that we wanted him to throw it, it would have been much better because he would have had that during the next fight. That's how quick that the Pulse Bomb charges. You have to take advantage of these charge rates now that alts don't charge as fast as they used to.
There's the Graviton at the ready. Gonna pull in 3. Is the follow-up there? It's pretty close, and they do get the follow-up they're looking for. 3 kills here from Kingdom, and C9, they're gonna evac here. There's no way of turning this back. Not when 3 people get grabbed that decisively to start things out. And it's actually still pretty even between both teams. It's felt more dominated by C9 than it really has been. It's going to be 63% to 63%. Both teams about 2 fights away from taking this. However, you take a look at ults going into the next fight. Surefour does have that tack visor, and we'll see what he does with it. Where you can't just raw tack visor, but Surefour's been very sneaky and very good about coming in from unexpected flanks to really set his team up.
Yeah, the high ground here is not ideal on this stage in particular to try to really abuse the attack visor, but he's going to go with the rest of his team, going to sit on this high ground at least momentarily while the rest of his team tries to poke in. Jesus goes down again very quickly to Adam, and that is going to be very bad for Kingdom as they are going to try to clean up this fight. Earthshadow comes in though.
Well, Kingdom's gotten 2 kills here. Even though Jesus goes down early, they're able to make the most out of his death. And Surefour, being tentative, didn't like what he saw, didn't feel like it was a good moment to use Tack Visor, but as a result, he's been kind of sitting up here doing nothing. Late Tack Visor comes out, and I'm not sure about this at all. I think there's a little bit of a miscommunication, because he's going to get nothing off of this Tack Visor.
No, he's sitting up there discorded. He can't really even poke out to try to get anything off that attack visor. His team continues to bleed heroes onto the point. He's going to finally jump down. His Shortboard gets taken out. Here comes the whole hog, and I completely agree. This seems like a stage that Cloud9 does not necessarily have the same plan on. Lucky for them, we're going to start rolling now to go where never mind. Sorry, I got a little confused, but yeah, they looked a little out of sorts there. When they're not running Mei, it seemed like Shortboard on his 76 just, I don't know, they sat way too far back with that, I felt.
Well, in particular, once they got the early pickup on the Jesus, that should have been the signal to go. That's where you have a 65, you want to be more aggressive. Surefour just stayed up there, held onto his tack visor for a really long period of time, and then, okay, it's alright, just use it in the next fight, but then, before C9 can even reset, he pops a tack visor randomly and gets absolutely nothing on it. It was a very bizarre set of decisions by C9 when they really could have started that fight off with a strong advantage.
Now, the Soldier Ana was a response to Jesus going Tracer. Looks like Kingdom's going to stay, but Cloud9 electing to go back to the original plan.
Well, here's the thing: is when you go Soldier Ana just to deal with Jesus, it's not like Jesus was a god killer in that game. He was a little bit of a problem, and he was trying to harass Rolf, but Rolf 1v1'd him more than once, I believe. And then you're taking Rolf off of his best hero, and you're taking Short4 off of what was his best hero so far on Koth and Mei. So I think it's an over-response, and I think it's trying to get a little too tricky.
Alrighty, so fight is underway here. Short4 opening up with the wall. Connor J, though, gonna take out Rib. Rib went in pretty deep, didn't get the support he was looking for, and it's Connor J, hook after hook coming in here. The X Factor for Kingdom picks up too early on, and the rest of C9, they just have to back out. Nothing they can really do at this point. Wolf gets hooked in towards the end. Gets shielded, and it's enough to let him get one pick off before falling. But it's a little bit too little too late. Kingdom gonna get first control. And bear in mind, this is the sort of stage where Kingdom has really excelled on in the past. They like the brawls that you get from these indoor control point maps.
But Rolf is just so legit, because every time, even when his full team gets wiped, he somehow like ends up 1v1ing somewhere where he has no business doing it. It's just so fun to watch. Granted, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but just if you're looking for a Zenyatta idol, you don't have to look much further than the guy we got right now.
Well, Ball can come in here from sure to start things up, and Mendo got hooked into the pit. Connor J set things up again, and what an earth shot from Juvenile, knocking down 3, cleaning the house. Good night to C9. Kingdom with an absolutely devastating engage, and again, give it up for Connor. Mendo doesn't go in that pit to start things out. Who knows if you get that good engage from Juvenile.
His Roadhog has been great all night, even in their losing effort against the really cool guys. I thought he had just spectacular single games by himself. The wall's going to come in at a different angle, does not end up cutting them in half like they want. Pulse Bomb comes in, gets nothing so far, but does force out a Transcend into this hallway. Blizzard's going to come out as well. So many ults going down.
Well, ults are going down. Juvenile getting frozen there towards the end. Mendo grabbing Juvenile pretty early on in this fight, and C9 off of that Blizzard should be able to start turning this in their favor. They get the kills they're looking for. 4 kills, and then they're just going to roll into point. Nothing too flashy about that, but Kingdom, they've had a lot of progress here, Hex. 70%. They can actually just sit on their ults and bank them and look for that one good fight.
Maybe, but it's right now C9 has a ton of ults of their own, so they're still with the ult advantage is Cloud9, and Cloud9 is not necessarily a team that likes to sit back real far, especially on these types of maps where the doorways are so controllable. You're going to see Short4 trying to wall off. If they do somehow sneak through, Kai already has that up too. He has got to be a little careful though, because Snow is on the D.Va.
Sunbearer coming in to start things off here from C9, and it's going to let them hold pretty aggressively. They get 2 off it immediately. Mendo picks up the 3rd. And the only problem there for the offense is that Ajax also used the Sound Barrier to start off that fight, so they kind of used it for nothing, where if that was a junk rush, it would have been great. They would have burned some resources off of C9, but instead C9 starting to take a firm hold in ult economy. They still have to win 3 fights here, Hex, but entirely doable with how it's set up right now.
Yeah, they didn't have to use much there at all. They still have that grab. They still got Short4 nearly at a Blizzard already again. So they have to really figure out how they're going to get in here. And I like this. They're going to come all the way around the side. They're trying to do as quickly as possible so that they can't get walled in. But the grab comes in. They get walled behind. No cleanup, though.
No clamp, and right away, Jesus and Connor, they get the first 2 kills, but there's Rib with the difference maker. Earth Shatter lands, knocks down 2, sets up Mendo for 2 of his own. It's going to be Mendo with all sorts of cleanup at the very end. C9 now about 1 major team fight away from taking this. They've definitely played the ult economy game much smarter than Kingdom has towards the end of this round.
And that's been kind of Cloud9's signature since they became a roster, is when a lot of teams use 3 ults, Cloud9 uses 2. When one team uses 1, Cloud9 uses 0, and still somehow wins those fights just based on their pure dueling skill.
Short4 right now holding on to that Blizzard. Gotta be thinking he's gonna drop in the room sooner rather than later. There it is, but it gets eaten by the D.Va! Defensive Matrix, it will not be chilly. It was a great Matrix by Mana Snow, protects his team, smothers the Cole, and he's just gonna roll in, looking for the double kill on the Rolf. Rolf, though, make him feel awfully uncomfortable, almost pulling him out of the mech. But still, what a great play by Mana Snow. Stops the Blizzard, and that very well could have won Kingdom the round if they just get 1 more fight.
Yeah, now they're going to be able to hold here up the door. Maybe Jesus can redeem himself with a Pulse Bomb. Sherlocky's going to have Transcend. Snow's got that self-destruct as well. Really nice Defense Matrix again to keep his Roadhog alive. They do end up using a Transcend as well, though I'm not sure they needed it.
He just grabs Short4 right away. 3 kills here for Kingdom. C9 getting a few licks in, but it's not enough. They're still on the losing end of this fight. Rib with nowhere to go. 96% now for Kingdom. Mendo trying to be a hero among heroes on the point, but just outmanned, outgunned. Kingdom Esports gonna take this round up 2-1 now over C9. And I gotta say, there was an MVP play. It was definitely Mana Snow eating the Blizzard and stopping that from potentially going C9's way.
It's so interesting because it's an MVP switch right onto D.Va that really ended up working for them. But you're switching onto D.Va into Zarya, into Mei. So really, most of the fight, you're getting pretty toughly countered there. It's only to try to really deny those ultimates, and I guess if you don't, it looks really bad, but, you know, Korean Future Vacuum, pretty good at stopping blizzards.
Looks like Cloud9 will be switching off of that Mei Zen, or maybe they're going to be going back now, but sure for on Tracer as of now. I think it's a pretty decent response.
Well, sure for it's one of those things where he doesn't always play Tracer, but when he does play Tracer, it's pretty darn effective. Sure for a man of many talents, Tracer among that. We'll see if it's effective here, because Jesus, it's interesting. I wouldn't say it's been a Soon level Tracer that we've been seeing, but it's been effective. It's been causing problems for C9, and it's been enough to open up other parts of the Kingdom game like Connor J. But first fight here is underway. Sure for now going to back and has Zen in his sights.
Yeah, Manasno takes on Rib, who got himself a charge, but was unable to finish it off as the team did collapse on him during his charging moment as well. So Jesus takes on Mendo as well. It is a full-on 6v4, a little bit scattered all over the place. Hook's going out, Hook's missing. That's Kingdom taking first point, and now it's going to be Cloud9 on the retreat.
C9 with a little bit of a rough go there. I think there was a point where Sherfor could have applied a little bit more pressure to Sherlock. He didn't feel comfortable with it and had to back out. Meanwhile, Jesus finds a way of pushing through, grabs Kai, nearly picture-perfect tracking there to finish that off, and that's going to be delaying C9 even more as they try and set up. And Kingdom, to their credit, doing a really good job of keeping pressure on C9, keeping them staggered. But Rolf from downtown finds a ball directly to Jesus' head, and this could be the opening C9 needed.
Yeah, Rolf is just really, really good. There's not a whole lot of other ways to say, you know, when you're describing Rolf there. So Mendo's going to come in. They do force out the Transcend. They also force out the Sound Mirror, too. If Cloud9 somehow wins this fight, that is terrible for Kingdom.
C9 moving in, and if they win this fight, it's pretty much because of Wolf getting that long-range ball right onto Jesus, sets up the 65, and Surefor now just feasting on the remnants. Uneven number situations, of course, always great for Tracer. You always hate to see that. The Lucio just struggling to run away with 3 people after him. Ajax, not going to get away.
But yes, they lost one, and that was a great kill by Rolf, but you have to wonder the reasoning then to use both support alts in pretty quick order behind each other for Kingdom. Now they're going to have really nothing else up for this fight. They're going to have a lot of offensive alts, but man, using Transcendence and then Sound Barrier into a 5v6 situation, into a lost fight, essentially.
Trevor right now moving in, going to the backline, does find Sherlocky early on, and with Jesus down, that is going to be all but over here for Kingdom in this fight. 2 quick pickoffs, and again, it's Wolf lighting up the kill feed, showing just how powerful a Zen can be when you're laying your shots. Ends up with 3 before it's all said and done.
Yeah, so that is going to be a hold in rather easy order for Cloud9. They're going to be banking ultimates up. They're going to have 5 up for the next fight, so still with a huge advantage over Kingdom. Kingdom's going to have to find a way to bring this back. Now the percentages on the point are just about even, but maybe a pulse bomb from Jesus can land it. Shorefor's got one of his own. Here comes the grab. Are they going to combo? Shorefor's up there.
They do get Mana Snow as a result of that grab. 2 quick kills on the way. Jesus is going to try and pull this back with a sort of a panic pulse bomb towards the end. At 63% for C9, I don't know if he needed to do that there. I mean, granted, for pulse bomb, it's not necessarily that big of a waste when you throw it out.
He's at 30%
but
again.
Still.
It's at 30% again. I mean, like, pulse bomb's one of those things that I never really call a waste.
Jesus now deciding he doesn't want to play Tracer v Tracer against Surefor anymore. He's going to use the Pulse Bomb, goes to McCree instead, is going to try and shut down this way. I'm not sure if this is the greatest result here for Kingdom, but this is going to be their final attempt as they try and get on the point. Early sound barrier here from C9 as they try and push it in their favor.
For all the point, Transcendence is forced out. Transcendence has been a really odd ultimate on both sides today. Teams just not staying in it, not keeping people alive necessarily, but Rolf keeps himself alive. Usually good enough for some DPS, but he's going to get bullied off the point, discorded, and deleted. Kingdom does flip it back. They're going to have to win every fight in this game to win the stage and the map as they're up 2-1, but Cloud9 still with some tools in their kit to work with to bring this back and try to even this map score up.
Well, the X Factor right now, Surefor, he's creeping around the side. He's going to be looking for that Pulse Bomb on the something squishy to turn it back in his favor. Now, there are running a Zarya in the other team, so it's not quite as free as some Tracer play we've seen in recent times where there's no Zarya to stop a Pulse Bomb pickoff. He really has to choose his target carefully here. But as you see, he's just creeping around the backside. Kaikai's not going to gravitate on the stem up, so Surefor pretty much on his own right now and trying to set this up. Will force out the Transcends immediately and does find Ajax off of that Earth Shatter.
That's a really nice start for them as well. So they're going to take one. There goes another Pulse Bomb, weakens them up. Rib takes out yet another. Graviton's going to come in for Kingdom. They need this. They get it. Jesus with double kill.
Jesus right now trying to fight this back, but C9 still with a bit of a numbers advantage. It's going to be Jesus versus Surefour here in just a moment, but Wolf still alive and in this. Going to make this incredibly hard for Jesus to do anything. Tracer and Zen versus a lone Tracer. That is definitely in Wolf's favor. He's going to take that fight. And now just Lucio trying to stall out for any time here for the Kingdom reinforcement again, and they do swap to Winston. Shawaki again die immediately, and this is do or die here, where it's at 99%. Whoever wins this fight is going to take this round, and Kingdom desperately trying to hold on.
Yeah, they're trickling back onto the point, but most of the kills recently have been in Cloud9's favor as Transcend's going to come up on the point. That should seal it. Everyone's staying nice and healthy. The whole hog especially comes in 3 kills. Surefour takes out his counterpart in Jesus. This should be Cloud9 flipping the map and evening up the stage score.
I mean, if Cloud9 takes this next round, Kingdom's really going to be kicking themselves because they had it to 50%, and as you mentioned, Hex, they use Sound Barrier and they use Transcendence in succession without too much time difference in between. They don't even connect the Zarya Tracer combo in there, which probably, considering they got it to 99%, would have won them this map. So very rough there for Kingdom.
Well, Kingdom definitely just got a bit of good RNG here. We are going to go back to Sanctum, and for whatever reason it may be, Kingdom has definitely had a higher success rate on indoor control point maps, so this is about all they could ask for here. We'll see if C9 has any sort of change-ups whatsoever. But for now, I think they're content to keep Surefour here in the Tracer and let him fight Tracer v Tracer versus Jesus, which is completely fine, since again, Surefour is a great Tracer.
You have to assume if it goes a little bit rough for Jesus early on, maybe he loses the first 2 Tracer v Tracers, that he goes to a McCree. I think his McCree is top tier, very good at it, and would be one of the ways to maybe try to mitigate Surefour's Tracer.
Oh, Juvenile able to find Adam early on with that Fire Strike. He's going to fall. Combination Poke and Fire Strike to do the deed there. And now without Lucio, it becomes really hard to win this fight. Your overall healing output going to be significantly reduced. Any poke damage going to be that much more significant. Mendo finds himself in a very rough situation. Ends up falling as Jesus will just start in and about getting the last bits of cleanup. And that's the one nice thing about running a Tracer is that once you start getting a numbers edge, your Tracer can really put it over the top in a hurry.
Yeah, as long as your Tracer stays alive, you're always in pretty good condition there when fights go uneven. And also, she's so good on the chase down, too, that you're not really going to be able to retreat successfully in fights either. That Tracer will always hunt you down at the edge there. So 15% already for Kingdom. We are close to entering the ultimate phase of the game. Both Jesus and Surefour will have pulse bombs. Those first pulse bombs you get for Tracer, I feel, are free. You can throw them away. Don't necessarily have to combo. We'll see if either one can hit one.
And for Surefour, this would be a great opportunity to put his team ahead. And you see right now, he's on the flank. He's waiting for the right opportunity. He does go back with his team right now. But for Surefour, there's plenty of times where regardless of the hero he's on, the hook comes in, hold the phone. Connor J puts an end to that story immediately. 3 kills here from Kingdom. And that hook from Connor J just putting an end to C9's push. Gonna force him back once more, and at 45%, things are looking very good for Kingdom right now.
Yeah, and they didn't retreat far enough as Mendo's gonna die there, and that doesn't seem like a huge deal, but that is a very late death stag rate-wise, so they're not gonna be able to fully push in. Their Surefour is going around the backside trying to get very cheeky, but he is spotted out by Jesus, so he's gonna open up a little bit of space though for his team. They're not gonna get caught in the doorway.
Here comes Kaikai looking for the Graviton. Will land the Graviton in the back, picks up 2. The follow through not there though as Juvenile drops the hammer but gets booped right off. Welcome to Adam. Adam in his favorite spot sending Juvenile on a ride, and that very well could keep C9 in this fight.
Yeah, they Graviton and Pulse Bomb a lone Lucio. That's how important Ajax is to that team, I suppose. They got him very early on, but now they're bringing it back. Connor and Jesus combined for 2 kills. Jesus still alive, running wild. They find Adam, who's discorded in the corner. They're fully alive on this point, just wrecking Cloud9, and Surefour's a little bit out of the fight. He's going to try to get this kind of cheeky back cap. I don't love this strategy.
No, not at all, and Kingdom's able to bring that back despite the early boot by Adam. They're going to hold here at the choke, and now 3% left to go. C9 has to get some of the points sooner rather than later. They're not going to be able to do it, and Kingdom evening up the series here against C9, 1-1. And I gotta say, for a team like C9, where they've been coming in as sort of a bigger and bigger juggernaut over time, it's hard to say where this is. This is either a very impressive showing for Kingdom, a little bit lackluster from C9, or a bit of both.
I would say the move from Jesus going to Tracer definitely helped out. I mean, they won each of the rounds. The only round they lost went to 99%. So going Tracer, I think was a big move for them. The other thing I would point out for Cloud9, maybe Mendo on Roadhog not working out as well as they would like to. I know that of course he's played Roadhog because he's played every hero since the game has come out, but he really hasn't had to grind and practice it in a scrim match environment until now, and he's probably still not as comfortable. He was definitely not as impactful as Connor J was on Hog.
All right, so I got my Santa hat back on. It was off during the last segment. I didn't even realize, but it just sort of fell off.
So important, ZP. How dare you? Well,
It is incredibly important. I'm the only one in the Christmas spirit right now. It is the Alienware Merry Melee. Do you note the Merry part there? Nothing says Merry like whatever this hat is supposed to be.
I would have, like, if we had any sort of pre-production, I would have totally gone and bought a hat.
I would have gotten a dreidel if I need to.
Is that your
represent.
line of protest? Suddenly, everyone's just like, no one has anything to say.
I'll get a menorah.
I'm switching sides. I'm running.
Right, that's fair.
I got
Tomorrow,
an admin,
menorah here, yarmulke here, dreidel. I'm gonna turn it around for you. We're gonna play all together. Okay,
right, that's fair.
All right.
All right, so we are waiting here for both sides to get ready, but it does look like we'll be heading to Route 66. And we were talking a little bit in the map draft how C9 really likes Route 66 nowadays. This doesn't really come as a surprise to me.
No, I think they're really good on it. Right now, it's going to... Well, I gotta switch names here. Sorry. Go ahead. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm busy.
X is off doing admin things, but Route 66 last year, we've seen C9... I don't know if this is, I'm going to call it a favorite map of theirs yet, but it does feel like we've been seeing them default to it more often than not as of late.
Well, they do like to switch things up here. I mean, they've run Pharah on offense here on Route 66 just a few weeks ago. They've run 2-2-2 with Genji and Pharah. They've run Genji and McCree. They've run Bastion on the cart, which has worked even a little bit. And then they've also run the kind of standardized triple tank meta, which we've seen lately. I think because it's more of an open map, and because they do have two players that can run the Genji very, very well, even though, you know, it's not a great meta for Genji. I think that's what is the biggest impact for them. Also because Surefour is one of the best tracers. They have a lot of options on this map rather than the tight, compact maps.
Yeah, I just really like Cloud9's defense here, and we'll see what they want to run. And I just remember, yeah, I think right now, Surefour is on the Genji, and maybe it's not the most ideal pick on defense on Route 66, but they can run it because Mendo can run whatever else they want on it too. If they choose to run a Roadhog, that's fine. Yeah, I was going to say McCree because his McCree on this map has been sick. This is the combination that they've run on defense. It's kind of a little unorthodox, especially given the current meta and post-patch meta, but it has worked really well for him. This is where I always talk about Cloud9's versatility, that, yeah, Surefour is a top-tier McCree. But you know what? You don't lose a ton when you put Mendo on that McCree either.
And I've always said that I think Mendo and Surefour are maybe equal McCrees, and probably definitely top 10, maybe top 5 in the world, both of them on McCree. Even though you say that maybe the Genji pick is weird here, I think on this map in particular, maybe Nimbani and Gibraltar too, Genji on defense can definitely work, and I like the setup that they're running so far.
Alrighty, so C9, the defensive set they're running here. I do like seeing more Zen play, and when you have a Zenyatta like Rulf, why not run with the Zen a little bit more often? And just in general, anything that gets us away from full cookie cutter where you saw Ana, Lucio every game, I'm completely down with, especially on defense here, where they will be running Surefour on the defensive Genji, where you think about it, Zenyatta with Genji, old best friends, new best friends. See if it works out here for the C9 defense.
Well, see, they are running the triple tank offense, single DPS. That's going to be Jesus on the 76 here. So we'll see, actually. I think Man of Snow is going to be really interesting to watch here. It's going to be kind of a question, is he going to initiate, or are they just going to take the slow roll on the bottom and force the defense? That's a big hook coming down to Kai. Can they capitalize on it? Already desuited is Kai.
Kai in a bit of trouble here. Surefour is still looking for anything backline. Got a decent amount of poke, but nowhere close to getting a kill either. Meanwhile, though, Mendo in over the top does take down Connor, and Mendo's still going to be a raid boss to deal with here, where McCree over the top can deal out all sorts of damage. McCree probably a little bit underused since the advent of Soldier, but still, the burst potential of McCree almost second to none when played properly. Mendo, though, can eat a little bit of poke, backing off, but for C9, this is still not the worst position to be in.
Yeah, Manasno does finally go up top, but he is discorded, so he will be desuited immediately. Going to have to go down to the bottom in the Buddy Blaster. And this looked like a really coordinated push, but it has kind of fallen apart and gotten very scrappy overall. A couple of picks here and there. It is starting to equal up. That hook might just swing it in favor of Kingdom as they get the sound barrier off here too. Only a couple remaining for Cloud9 in the defense.
And it's Connor J once again opening the way where it just feels like you give Connor J enough time, he's going to find the hooks, going to put his team over the top and start the snowball in Kingdom's favor. And when Kingdom has broken things wide open, a lot of times it has been Connor J today, and his Roadhog a big factor in that.
I think he hit 4 of the 5 hooks he attempted in that fight, and I think 3 of them ended in killing blows. So absolutely, with the pick class going wild on this team, he did die once during it, but that's how long the fight was. He was able to get back into it. So they're comfortable just taking this low gun. Transcendence does get forced onto the cart.
You have the Tac Visor and Nano Boost coming out for Jesus. He's spending so much time trying to kill Surefour, doesn't actually kill anything with it. Not the greatest use of those 2 ultimates, but with Mendo down, still not the worst position for Kim to be in. Surefour does eat the Helix Rocket. Wolf is in the backline as well. Falls also as Kingdom slowly but surely starting to put this fight back in their favor. And again, it comes down to Mendo got caught out a little bit early, and even though the Nano Boost Tac Visor was kind of wasted, didn't matter in the end.
Yeah, Mendo switched on a Tracer there to try to get back to the cart. I'm a little bit interested by that. I think a lot of it was because Surefour wanted the McCree back, so Surefour is on the McCree for the second point. Mendo's going to swap over to Hog now too, so an intermediary switch for Cloud9 looked a little bit odd, but again, it was Connor. He got a couple hooks there. Yes, he died in the middle of the fight, and now they force out a sound barrier way back here. I do not like this at all.
Adam was under pressure there, and he felt it. Right now, Wolf does get taken out towards the very end. Man of Snow, are you going to go for the self-destruct here? He does not. He decides to save it, and probably wise that he did. Not only would have not gone too much, he also would have died before getting back into his mech, and a bit of discipline coming out from Man of Snow there towards the very end. And for Kingdom, they still got payload progress that entire time here, Hex, so they're still well positioned as they go into the next fight.
Well, I guess looking back on it, Adam saving his own life is not that bad because look at the percentages he's already got up. He's just hitting so much spam with this dude that they're nearly equal on Sound Barrier yet again. So Adam, I guess, saving his own bacon is definitely worth it. They are going to drop down here looking for inertia. They don't get much off of it as Connor J continues his reign of terror, takes down Surefour.
That's taken down pretty early on in this fight. Connor J ends up with 2 in the end. Man of Snow is probably looking to initiate with the self-destruct, but with 2 quick kills from Connor J, it's not even needed. Nano Boost Tac Visor comes into the backline, only picks up 1, but with the fight already going Kingdom's way, doesn't matter. They've only lost 1 here, and that 1 was towards Mendo very late in the fight. They're going to be able to keep this momentum going here, Hex, all the way up until the second point, and now for C9, here's a question, Hex. Do you try and contest this, given that you do have to go through those narrow passageways?
I think you do try to contest it just because both your tanks are going to be out here already, so that means everyone else should be able to trickle out around you. The self-destruct is going to come down over the top. Doesn't get much, not even much of a zoning ult either. They're short for taking on Jesus too. That is definitely going to be a sign that they can contest this.
We do have a late sound barrier coming out here from Kingdom. A little bit disjointed, and it's going to be countered by sound barrier from Adam, and gotta say, sound barrier for sound barrier, definitely a win here from C9. Surefour going to get the cleanup he needs later on in the fight. And at the very least, I guess, for Kingdom, they forced out that sound barrier, but it's a pretty good recovery from C9, given the momentum they were dealing with as they ran back out, and I think it's just D.Va able to break through those points in the way that other tanks are not.
Yeah, very good recovery from Cloud9. As you mentioned, they did end up using the sound barrier. What's really confusing is they also used Transcendence in the same breath as they used sound barrier, and that's not the same. It's not the first time we've seen that from teams tonight. It's been a little bit discoordinated on support ults as it goes. They do rotate around the right side, and yet again, it is Connor with the first kill, taking out Mendo. Now he's going to whole hog out of the point.
Okay, guys saying nerf this. Self-destruct in the air. Finds Jesus with the fireworks. Still, though, very winnable fight here for Kingdom. Connor J has done a lot of work here thus far. Going to be knocking Kai out of the mech once again. And Kingdom, they're fighting. He finds Adam with the right click. And Connor J, the real raid boss here for Kingdom. Sure, if we're going to try and bring this back, but numbers game not with him whatsoever. And Kingdom going to roll this right to the second point.
Yeah, they get a couple kills that they need to really close it out. Now they're going to bully out the entrance up top, so that is going to be good in the second point. 1:40 left to finish out the last point. Ultimate's pretty much even on both sides. Earthshatter's up for both sides. The Deadeye from Shore 4 will be one to watch going forward. Can they take out Juvenile and try to get it going? It's going to be interesting to see if he goes for one of those drive-by ultimates too, as they do have moving platforms on this map.
Well, they are looking for Earthshatter in the self-destruct here. They get the Earthshatter. They don't really have a great angle for the self-destruct, but Connor J, the hook on the rib sets him up once more. It's already a 65 for Kingdom, and even if the ult energy wasn't there, they're mechanically getting the kills they need to get, and they keep the payload moving forward. So for Connor J right now, he's just going to stroll over to the left and again look for one of those hooks, and he has been the lifeline for Kingdom when all else has been lost.
He's been the only lifeline for Kingdom this game. Every single fight has started with a kill of his, and it's just been absolutely what they needed. Here comes a self-destruct from the other side. Connor J with another hook. It's going to take Kai in there. Self-destruct doesn't get much. There is also attack visor down, but Jesus gets slept and killed. A beautiful play by Roll.
There's a decent sleep dart from the side Kingdom as well, but it's just not enough. Rest of the fight going the way of C9, and unfortunately you can't use as many ultimates as the Kingdom did to try and set the fight and get absolutely nothing from it. So Man of Snow right now, look, they're staggering him. He's looking for a place to die. Please give D.Va an honorable death. They're not having any of it right now, Hex.
It's so smart. They just
look at this.
They just flashbanged her and just let her live afterwards too. So
really
beautiful stagger. That buys you about 10 seconds, and 10 seconds. They don't really have that to spare. They're gonna have to go in without D.Va.
It's 10 seconds left here, so Kingdom, they're going to have to do this 5v6. That's the power of a good stagger like that, but it's Connor J. Finds a hook on the Kai, but the nano boost keeps Kai alive. The sound barrier comes in right after. They've activated C9's trap card here. 2 quick kills to start things out. And Kingdom fighting for their lives here on Route 66. They got the payload a decent way, but Kai getting all sorts of cleanup here on this cart.
Yeah, it's just Man of Snow left there, and D.Va is pretty good. There comes the ultimate to maybe stall out, but they kill her before she can get back in the suit. That's a nice kill by Rib, knocking her out of the air like a baseball, like a little pop fly. And they will stop them before they get to the final point.
Well, we now know the stakes of the series for going forward for both teams. For Kingdom, they need to have a strong hold. They can't let C9 bring it to the end. If C9 brings it past where they just got there, that's it. C9 will win the series in 2-1 fashion. But if Kingdom can get that big hold, they would stop C9 here, and then we would have a really interesting group going forward, and who knows what we could actually expect from Really Cool Guys versus C9. And I gotta say, just thinking about that matchup, which will be the next one on stream, for Really Cool Guys, given how closely they played Kingdom and the fact that they were able to beat Kingdom, and given what Kingdom is doing now to C9, I feel like Really Cool Guys for C9 is definitely up in the air, more so than we might have expected going into the night.
And as an update for the other match, Liquid did beat Really Cool Guys 2-0, so the group has gotten a lot more interesting because of that match.
Well, what happens here then if we see Kingdom come out and have a ridiculous hold against C9, then, oh man, we're gonna have to look in the tiebreakers and all the rest. That would, I think, be the most varied group we have ever had in the Alienware Monthly Melee, if that did transpire that way. Now, I do think C9 has a little bit of an edge going into this map, but now I'm just interested because you want to talk about a lot of variation in the scene, you'd have to look no further than this group play right here, right now.
Yeah, especially with a very young team coming out, of course, a young team of old veterans too. But yeah, I mean, that's the one we wanted to see when we were like looking at groups and stuff. We're like Cloud9 versus Really Cool Guys, and it might end up being a 2-0, but like you have to watch that, right? The scene needs good drama, good, we used to be on a team, now we're on a different team. The scene needs stuff like that, and so that'll be interesting. And I would not put it past Kingdom to be able to hold Cloud9 here. This is not an easy map to complete, and they got the cart pretty darn close to completion.
I do like this opening setup from Cloud9. I'm not. Is Kai really going on Hanzo?
No, he's going to check the train.
He's checking the train cart. You don't want to get train wrecked. We established a name for this. And C9, from now and forever, because of Kingdom, who are the ones that actually caught them off guard to begin with, they're always going to be checking the train, especially when going against the people that caught them with their pants down in the first place.
Keeping Mendo on McCree, I think is a very good idea, considering I think he's had the best of luck so far on Roadhog, and sure for on Genji, this is a map that you would want him on.
Well, he got out-hogged for sure. Connor J definitely got the better hog game in the last side of the map. So, yeah, I think it's smart, and at certain times you can just go pretty much comfort picks as well. And Mendo very comfortable on McCree. As you mentioned, probably top 10 McCree in the world.
Jesus right now hanging on over the top, looking for pickoffs. Doesn't get too much on his own, but does draw Mendo's attention for long enough that Mendo doesn't see the hook coming, ends up getting taken out, and oh my goodness, Sheer 4 builds up Dragon Blade so quickly, but can get nothing of it. And actually, X, do you think that was a bit of a waste there? He was already down 3 members. Don't you think he could have held that for the next fight?
Probably. Yeah, I think Dragon Blade of all the ultimates is the one that players who are playing Genji always feel like, don't worry, I got this, when they actually don't. I feel like we see more Dragon Blades wasted than any other ultimate.
Well, Surefour looking to build up another Dragon Blade, already well at work here. Looking for a bit of poke here on top of Big Earls. But look at how aggressive Kingdom's being here. They have Mana Snow going into the backline, finds Wolf immediately off of that dive. You know, 2 quick kills, C9 gonna be finding this push going away as Rib, looking for Sweet Death's Embrace, not able to charge off the cliff. Connor J hooks him back in.
Connor's, again, had another great game, and Surefour gets his death extremely staggered, although he was able to at least trade out for Jesus there, so not as bad as it could have been. They will do the run back, though. Really smart stuff, these small little things. Ajax runs all the way back so that they can bring Jesus into this fight as soon as possible.
Well, going into the next fight here, Mana Snow is just going to be looking for a little bit of fireworks, holding on to that D.Va self-destruct. This is one of the best angles, too, of just catching a team unawares. You throw it up into the air here. At times, there's not a whole lot of cover. Do have a D.Va v D.Va battle right now. Kai getting down and dirty with Juvenile, but Juvenile's not having much of it. But what a transcendence by Rolf. Gonna set the stage for Rib to drop the hammer. And C9, what engagement coming in from them. But Connor J pulls it right back. It does not matter. Gets one hook pickoff, goes whole hog, and saves the fight for Kingdom after what was a decent engage from C9.
I would love to have legitimate stats here because I feel like Connor J has gotten so many more kills than the rest of his team. Every time that they win a fight, he's in there for 3. Now count it 4 kills. He is maybe not doing all the damage, but he is definitely getting all the kill feed love. Connor J has gone up absolutely huge. And ZP, we're getting down to it. This is a minute 15 left for them to just get first point.
We are absolutely getting down to it. In C9, this is pretty dangerous, and take a look at all the ultimates that Kingdom has in reserve. The Self-Destruct's still there. Earthshatter's still there. Sound Bearer's still there. They only have a Sound Bearer to work with, and this is a do-or-die fight here for C9. C9, they're going up that flank. Self-destruct doesn't get too much. They're able to avoid the worst of it. So one ultimate down as C9 tries to defeat the raid boss of resources on the Kingdom side.
They sound-beared immediately because of that self-destruct and got absolutely no value off of it. Kaikai's now going to get his self-destruct on as well. He does it. I'm taking down Ajax, who I thought was safe. Line of sight being a little bit goofy for Ajax. He probably is wondering what's happening there. That might be all they need as Surefour takes down Jesus. Here, can Connor bust out some heroics? He starts with Kaikai.
He takes down Kai, is zoning people away from the payload right now. Finds Mendo towards the very end. So, again, it wasn't all Connor. There was a lot of Mana Snow in the back to disrupt C9 and all the rest, but the tank play for Kingdom really been the standout here. It hasn't been as much Jesus, who admittedly has been solid, but the hero plays coming out more from Connor than anyone else, as they are one team fight away here, X. And C9 don't have a lot of room to make this perfect. They're going to have to rush in, and they could very well be running right into the self-destruct.
They do get bodies on the card at the very least, so if they can win this fight, they should be able to at least take the point. The card is far enough along to do so. Self-destruct is going to come in over top to start us up. Takes out Surefour!
There's no better pick than that on C9. Surefour is gone. Mendo with the nano boost. Deadeye ends up eating the right click from Connor J and says Connor J getting the work on the payload once more. Picks up the double kill, and it's going to be Kingdom defending versus C9 and taking them down. So Kingdom Esports defeating Cloud9. And we have ourselves one heck of a mess in the group standings here because C9 beat Team Liquid. Just for reference, Team Liquid just beat Really Cool Guys, and Really Cool Guys beat Kingdom, so everyone is beating everyone here. There is no definitive favorite.
Yeah, we have a group now.
Yeah.
And this map especially shows, and as we've seen a lot of evidence through DreamHack with certain teams like Complexity, as we've seen Envious at OGN, when you have players that are really, really good on Roadhog and really, really good on D.Va and individual heroes, especially in this current meta, you can do incredible things even against teams that might have more individual talent and or have more team talent together, just because of how the current meta is right now. And we saw Connor J getting more hooks than Mendo, and we saw, I think Kai actually did a pretty solid job on D.Va, but Man of Snow really made some MVP plays himself, and gotta give it up to Kingdom there.
Alrighty, so that was Cloud9 versus Kingdom. Kingdom Esports taking it 2-1 in what many people it is an upset, but it's not the first time Kingdom has been C9. They've had this rodeo before, so realistically, it just shows that in Overwatch, you can never count on too much in terms of results, but this is the Alienware Melee. Any final thoughts here before we take a quick break as we go into Cloud9 versus Really Cool Guys?
No, everyone should be watching this. This is old Cloud9 versus new Cloud9. This is, I don't think it's a grudge match because I think these guys are still friends, but I'm going to call it. It's a grudge match. These guys hate each other. Get everyone to watch. Tune in.
Slasher?
This is going to be a grudge match. Coming up next, Cloud9 may have to tweak some of the things that they just went through, considering what just happened.
Definitely agree. For a second, I thought you said twerk, and I was all sorts of confused. I don't know what was going on there, but tweak, not twerk.
I've seen it. You should see his twerk.
Okay. All right, so this is the Alienware Merry Melee. We'll be back in just a few minutes, getting into our last game here in Group A. Should be a good one. Old teammates versus each other. We'll see what happens.